Came to fight for the love of the game. Unstoppable. That's why I'm undefeated. Off the leash, out of the cage. An animal. That's why I'm undefeated. I know I can beat it. Won't give up, 'cause I believe it. Fight for the love of the game. Unstoppable. That's right. I'm undefeated.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Casual Sim Racers League as we're here in the land of the rising sun over in Japan for Motegi. Here tonight, race number 2 of the season. We'll see what the LMP2s and GT3s can do here tonight, as should be a pretty good one. We got some nice straightaways here. Passing opportunities, definitely a plus here tonight, and should be able to get around, whether you're working around your fellow competitors or maybe trying to work around some of the slower traffic out there. But good sized field, ready to take the track here tonight. Just finishing up with qualifying. Looks like we got about 44, 45 drivers out here ready to get set for tonight's race. Carl Handwork, hopefully joining the booth pretty soon here by Jimmy Covert. I think I just run a little bit late here tonight, but for now, holding down the fort here, and I'm hoping that the rising sun around here just sets a little earlier these next couple of days, dealing with a bit of a heat wave here in Pennsylvania, and today was one of the easier days that we'll have the rest of the week. Only in the high 90s. Next couple of days in the triple digits. No thanks, no thanks. You can keep that, and I think Jimmy needs to get in here and take some of that heat away from me and take it back down to Florida. But for now, the field is done and it is set, so we'll get the starting order up here for you tonight for the 44 car field. One car maybe not going to be starting here tonight. We'll see if Parker Standret is going to make the field here tonight. Didn't see him out there in practice or qualifying, but either way, still 40 plus here tonight, so should be a good one. Last week out, we were at the Watkins Glen boot for the season opener, and it took a little bit for Craig Jantic to kind of get going and finally take the lead in that one. Almost kind of like what he did last season. It took him a little bit to get to the top of the point standings, but he found a way, and he came home with the win last week in the LMP2 class. Javi Sierra ended up winning it in the AM class. Then the GT3s dominated by Ricky Renner the entire race in the GT3 Pro class, and Cesar Colon Torres able to pick up the pieces there and get himself the win in the AM class at Watkins Glen. But tonight, different story. This is not a track like Watkins Glen. Watkins Glen gets a lot of love. The drivers, most of them, if not maybe all of them, coming off of the win, or well, hopefully the win for them. But the Watkins Glen 6 hour the previous weekend. But here, Motegi, not a track that gets hit too often, and it's kind of a shame because it is a fun track and one that's kind of unique in the situation that it's got an oval here. You've got the twin ring at Motegi circuits. They did host Indy Cars for a little bit, and in fact, the site of Danica Patrick's one and only Indy Car win. But they are on the road course here tonight, and the interesting thing about this is the road course is built into the oval track, but it uses 0 of the oval track. It's not something you see too often. Usually the road course is completely separate, or if it's kind of intermingled with the oval, there'll be something, a straightaway or a turn or something that gets used from the actual oval track in the road course. But not the case here at Twin Ring Motegi. It's got 2 underpasses. You see the second one right there, as we're going to be getting ready to get this thing underway. They're coming through the final corners here, and it's going to be Nora Bourgeois and Dace Keeling on the front row. Dace Keeling picking up the pole here tonight. We are going to have 45 minutes of racing action. They come out of the final corner. The LMP2s will get it kicked off. Looks like 20th place there. Michael Pennant trying to catch up to the field, but the field has gotten the green flag. A big start there for Dace Keeling. He's going to jump into the lead, heading down into turn number 1. And looks like all the GT3s at least going to make the entrance to turn number 1 here nice and cleanly. We'll get now back to the GT3s as they get their green flag here tonight. Chris Hamilton on the front row with Ricky Renner, as they will take it down into turn number 1, and good sized GT3 field here tonight as well. And all of them at least making it into the corner. And you see him coming out there of turn number 2. Good start for the field. So that's what you like to see, certainly with all these cars up there mixed and matched. Dace Keeling, Norm Bourgeois, Greg Jancic, Siviani Madrigal, and Bryce Reiner, your top 5 in the LMP2s. In the GT3s, it's Hamilton, Renner, Phillips, Clement, and Dumont for your top 5. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. I have to use a little bit different track map here tonight, as it is, for some reason, I don't know if it's maybe not part of the SDK update that just happened today. Today or yesterday, whenever it was. Either way, I had to update it when I got in here, but the track map not on there for whatever reason. So we will we'll use a different version, and we're going to see an incident right there live on the screen as Siviani Madrigal gets into the back of, I believe that was Craig Jancic here. We'll take a look at that, one more time. And not sure what the case was right there. Looks like Craig kind of missed the turn a little bit. Siviani dives to the inside, but maybe kind of locked up there a little bit as well. And going to take out your race 1 winner. We'll take a look at it here maybe one more time and hop on board here with Siviani to see what he was taking a look at, if I can get to the cockpit quick enough. And we'll go ahead and rewind it and show you what happened there. It looked like Craig was going to go to the outside, and then kind of came across a little bit. Maybe Siviani kind of dove to the inside, thinking, okay, there's a passing opportunity, and going to pick up a spot and then lose a spot to Bryce Reiner right there, coincidentally Jancic's teammate. But it doesn't look like too much damage to the 97 there, but he's definitely going to be damaged in regards to positions, timing. He is now already 9.5 seconds behind the leader, Dace Keeling. Take a look back here with Chris Hamilton leading the way over Ricky Renner right behind him. Hamilton out there in the Ford Mustang here tonight. Renner in the McLaren, and you got Chevy Corvette in the 3rd spot there with Jason Phillips. The Chevy doesn't get as much love anymore. And really, it's been a while since we've kind of gone to a track where Chevy has been the dominant brand. It's been a lot of McLarens lately. The Porsche kind of always has gotten love, and it's still getting quite a bit here tonight. Cesar Clone Torres in the Porsche, leading in the LMP or the GT3 AM class right now in his 007. But so far so good for most of the field, except for I'm seeing some issues here for Brandon Powell and John Newman, both of them getting a meatball. Trying to see where exactly that happened, as I see an issue there for Bryce Reiner on the start. But yeah, I don't see where Powell and Newman got together. Looks like roughly around lap number 2, so I'll keep trying to dig through the incident reports here and try and figure out what exactly happened. Take a look at some more incidents here in the meantime. This is with Cameron Burke. And this is right there with Cesar Clone Torres as they go through the S's, and it's like Clone Torres gets into the side of the 23-0 right there. There you go. There's the incident. There's the big pile up there that involved Newman and Powell. They both had to tow to pit road after that incident. Get some more here as this is Jim Dutton. A little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of a bobble there coming out of the corner, but could have been a heck of a lot worse. And this is Brandon Powell and John Newman trying to limp it around the track, but you see that front wheel not really doing too much work, not really moving too much, but finally showing up to work. My co-commentator Jimmy Cover looks like he's finally made it to the booth. It's a long flight over here to Japan, so I understand. He's still getting some things set up on his side to get talking, but we'll get it back live here. In the meantime, Dace Keeling, you see the lead already stretching out, already about 2 seconds in front of Nora Bourgeois. Bryce Reiner settled into third place. Steveni Madrigal, Frank Pisano for your top 5 in the LMP2 Pro class. In the AM class, Javi Sierra leads by a pretty good margin already. Jim Herrick is running in second, but 6 seconds behind, and he's got Tyler Torville and Craig Jancic in between as well. As we take a look at Jim Herrick right there, Bill Burrell, Jim Dutton, and Paul Smith for your top 5 in the LMP2 AMs. In the GT3s, it is Chris Hamilton holding off for the time being. Your winner from race number 1 at Watkins Glen, Ricky Renner, Jason Phillips right there, 3-car breakaway in the GT3s. Michael Schwartz and Jesse Mosley for your top 5 in the Pro class. In the AMs, Cesar Colon Torres, Watkins Glen winner as well. He is up there in first place and got a pretty sizable lead for himself. He got about 8-second lead right now over Jay Little, Stephen Luttrell, Ian Southern, and Todd Torville, your top 5 in the AM class.
Carl and the audience.
There he is.
TSA security, man. They took my mic as something. They didn't like the shape of it. Just saying.
Understandable. Understandable. Thought you got to bring that crap carry on. I don't know. There's no Southwest that goes over to Japan. You can't have 2 bags fly for free.
No, so no, it's been a long flight, but we're here now as getting caught up here with what's going on, and it looks like a lot of good action going on here on the track.
Yeah, kind of the big early incidents. Just to kind of recap you is early on, Greg Jancic getting a little bit maybe late on the braking, had to check up, and Steveni Madrigal got into him. That's why he's going to shuffle back in the field here. Started up there in 4th, but he's back in 9th right now. And then a pretty decent incident involving 3 or 4 cars on the front stretch as Cesar Colon Torres ends up hooking Cameron Burke, and that ends up causing an issue with John Newman and Brandon Powell as they both had meatballs. It looks like they've made their way to the pits, but down quite a bit compared to the rest of the field as it stands. But I did mention, comparing Watkins Glen to Motegi really is no comparison, and the fact that Watkins Glen, ton of love, no matter if you're a road course driver or even an oval driver. It shows up on the NASCAR schedules as well. So there's plenty of time that you'll get to see and race on Watkins Glen. Motegi, not really so much.
Yeah, Motegi, obviously I have a few races here. Mostly at officials or at a broadcast, but it's one of those tracks. There's some love, that needs to be happening out there with all these extremely all these hairpins. You see these drivers going around here tonight. It's all about setting them up, getting good braking, hitting your mark, getting that acceleration out of the corner, and moving on along. And we talked about a little bit, I think, in the previous seasons about Noah Bourgeois, how he would kind of come in here on one of these tracks required that he would kind of get up there and kind of just take off. And here, not the case here tonight. Trailing right now behind Dace Keeling. Dace Keeling was looking for that win probably last week, and not able to make that happen, but out to a nice little gap here right now out front. Over Noah Bourgeois. Bryce Reiner, obviously, last year started off things with a pretty good bang, and he's still been doing very well early on here. Now the second race of the season for CSRL, so good to see that up here. Just kind of looking down through the list, Carl, and I noticed our last week's winner, Craig Jancic, back in P number 9. So did he have like a tough start? Because I was not able to catch that.
Yeah, that's what I mentioned not too long after the green flag. We'll take a look back here and see one more time. It looked like maybe just broke a little bit too late into one of the corners, locked it up, and Madrigal thought maybe he had a chance to get to the inside, ends up making contact. No damage, didn't look like to the 97, but certainly lost quite a few positions before he got it back going, and falling back all the way to 9th. I think it was all the way back as far as 10th position before he got it back going. But other than that, it's kind of already spread out here. The other thing I brought up that I think is unique here about Motegi, and I'll bring it up again because I really think it's it's something that you don't see anywhere else. And maybe you can think of a track that has it, but obviously, you know as well as I do, we got the oval here, the twin ring Motegi circuit that is kind of intermingled with the track here. But you can't really, in my opinion, call Motegi a roval because even though it's kind of interlaced with the oval here, it uses 0% of the oval. And I think any other track that I can think of, you know, obviously your Charlottes, your Daytonas, you know, they use something, whether they use a corner or whether they use a straightaway. They're using some part of that oval. Here at Motegi, you got two underpasses to go underneath the ovals, but you never touch the oval one bit.
Yeah, it's the oval is a very unique animal, and you've seen it last season. I think it was they were here and you know, took that track, and you know, it adds a, you know, another layer of you know, racing for this place over here in Japan. So you know, it's just one of those ones that's, you know, really high banking, bumpy, long turns, and they're, you know, it's, you really get down in there. And when you're in them old stock cars, it's probably my most memorable. And we had a couple of races there with the 87s. Sometimes them things would get on up out of that groove down there and go for a ride up and over the trees. So it's definitely a unique part of the track, and you know, obviously not touching it here tonight. And the driver's having a fantastic, doing a fantastic job at the moment getting this done. So yeah, so looking forward to seeing the rest of this race as they get things going and start finishing things up here.
Well, thank our sponsors for the season, Velocity, 40 Racewear, and Aerostar Racing for their continued support here for the series. And I want to thank everyone out there, obviously, for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything SCRN has to offer, as it is Wednesday, which means the Wednesday doubleheader we got here. This race tonight, and then we'll be heading over right after this. I have to catch another flight, so hopefully, Jimmy, you got your bags in check to make it over to Pit Road Speed Limit Racing, as we're going to be heading right from Japan over to Charlotte. And tonight going to be a special one because it is July 1st, so we're getting close to that 4th of July celebrations all over the place. Well, tonight they got a patriotic theme night over there at Charlotte for their 80-lap race, so looking forward to seeing what kind of paint schemes they put together on that one. And speaking of paint schemes, we finally got the overlays figured out to get the correct paint scheme showing up on both the cars on the scene and the cars down on the bottom of the track as well. So we're not looking at 16 different things. I'm wondering who the heck is who out there. But either way, good start here to the race, as we're already clicking through this thing. We're already almost a third of the way through this race. Day Scaling is still leading the way by 2 seconds right now over Noah Bourgeois. Bryce Reiner, your top three. Javi Sierra leading in at the AM class for the LMP2s. Chris Hamilton still, for now, holding back Ricky Renner, but Ricky Renner's been all over the back bumper of that Blue Thunder Mustang all race long. Jason Phillips right there behind them as well, waiting to pick up the pieces if they get together. That's your top three in your GT3 Pros. In the AMs, it is Cesar Colon Torres stretching out that lead even more. Steven Trell's moved into second, but he's 12 seconds adrift from Cesar Colon Torres. Jay Little rounding out your top three.
Okay. Sorry about that. Got wife Jazz in the middle of changing curtains, so you know how big of an issue that can be for you know, when you're needed.
Yes.
and you're doing something else. But yeah, good fight here for the lead for the GT3s. You know, obviously, yeah, Ricky Renner trying to get a better finish here, and you know, obviously Chris trying to get that run. Carl, I've been doing some watching of the live streamers during the day here as the upcoming Spa 24 is on the horizon here, just you know, come next week. So you know, so you get out there, but notice a lot of Fords out there, and you know, going with their standard setups. Like if you don't have if this is not open sets, that the Fords have kind of a, I guess, better, from what I understand, like less traction control interruption, or ABS, one of the two. Anyways, there's something with the Ford. They just got more. They got a little love, I guess if you want to call it that. But not much love needed by Ricky Renner. Obviously, back there in the the McLaren, trying to get things done. So trying to catch up and get it done here. But it's good to see different cars up to the front. Even though with the love actually going to the Ford Mustang, but to have a Ford, a McLaren, and a vet back there like nose to tail, for that level of driving, it's just it's fantastic. So I love to see that the drivers are able to run pretty much any car, and sometimes iRacing gets it pretty dang right for the most part when things are kind of set up, but sometimes not so much. I mean, when you talk about the cars, do you have every someone out there? What's the flavor of the month? It's been it seems like it's been a little while since we've gotten a new GT3 or some revision of one. So I'm sure that's just around the corner.
I mean, I keep hearing
continues to progress.
I keep hearing about the Lexus over and over and over again. I keep hearing, "Oh, Lexus is coming, Lexus is coming." I've seen even concepts of it. I haven't seen it yet. Until it comes out, I'll believe it when I see it. And I'm sure it'll be one you're gonna have to buy. As soon as it comes out, you're gonna have to buy it because it's gonna be absolutely the meta car. It's gonna be the one that dominates because they want everybody to buy it right away. So you're gonna have to show it all kinds of love right away, and get into it. But for now, we stick with what we got. The biggest thing that we deal with in the in these endurance events is BOP. That's the biggest kind of difference between the endurance events and your normal league race. Like you see here, or like you see on Thursday nights with the Core GT series, there is no BOP. There is no balance of power. It is straight up, whatever car you want to drive, you can drive. So there's times where you're going to get to a track and maybe the Mustang is the meta car for that race. Maybe it's the McLaren. Maybe it's the BMW for whatever reason. And there's not going to be any balance of power to say, bring the Corvette kind of up to speed, or the Audi to get in a better handling of that situation. You'll have that in the endurance races. More likely than not, you won't have that in league races. So you can find yourself in a different car potentially every week here in leagues.
Yeah, it's when you're just using like the standard setups, even being able to have your own setup, you can change just little things, not maybe iRacing has the cars, whoever designed the setup, maybe they like the car a little bit tighter. Some people like it a little bit looser. The brakes, the way they're set up, the ride height, all that stuff. Every little thing changes, and we proved that like you can take an iRacing setup. All we used for the Watkins Glen, and we're pretty darn successful, with the drive that we had, was we just used the iRacing's setup that they had, online. It was nothing fancy. Was it the fastest thing? Was it probably too much downforce? Maybe, but man, the thing handled like it was on rails. It was consistent all night, and we were able to use that to our advantage and get a walk away with some great finishes. And then I turned around the following day and used another setup, and I guess the biggest thing I noticed was just like being able to save fuel. So just a change of a wing here, a crank there, whatever they want to call it, because I'm not a mechanic. Just put me in a car and I'll drive. We were able to save like an extra lap of fuel, and that was me not saving. So it was kind of, I was surprised. I really was surprised how much fuel difference there was. So like,
that's something you don't see like ever. Like speed difference,
No.
cornering difference, braking, you'll see all different kinds of things, but a difference in fuel, that's something you don't see. It's strange. I mean, it's great that you guys were able to do that for sure. But here in leagues, you don't have to worry about that. Everybody in, no matter what you're out there with, you're in the same setups. All these LMP2s, Pro Class, AM Class, you're in the same setups. I wish there was a way to set up certain things for certain classes. I think that'd be that'd be cool if it's something like this. But short of telling everybody, say in the GT3 is that hey, the Ferrari, the Ford, the McLaren, those are going to be the cars for the Pro Class, and then the Audi, the Mercedes. You know, these are going to be the ones for the AM class, and then setting up the, you know, maybe the Pro class deals with a low downforce setup, and the AM class has a high downforce setup to give them a little bit more grip. But it's it's not beneficial when it comes down to it. Everybody's just got to get out there. You're in the same setup, unless you're in a an open setup league like Core GT has gone to this past season and is going to be going to again. It's open setup for them. So it's not necessarily to let drivers go out there and, you know, if they have a membership to a garage or not, to, you know, get the you know, the ridiculously good setup and pay $20 a week to get, you know, the setup that you need to be running for that week. It's more just, you know, when the weather changes, because, you know, these drivers here, as you see, was that off there, look like Jim Herrick off there in the kitty litter. These drivers will have to deal with wet conditions later on in the season. And taking a look at the schedule, I believe it's coming up next weekend. Next week at Spa, there's a chance of rain, and then later in the season at Road America, there's a chance of rain there as well. And that's fine. It's fun. You know, you get those rain races, but one of the things that you can do and you need to do on rain races in the GT cars, you need to be able to change your traction control, and that's something you're allowed to do on a you know, an endurance event and in any open setup event. You can't do it on fix, and we've been fighting that for a long time in the forums, trying to get iRacing to realize, you know, hey, if it's an in-car adjustment, you should be able to make that change, no matter if it's fixed setup, if it's open setup, it doesn't matter. It's an in-car adjustment. Just the same way you can change brake bias, it's the same way that you can change traction control, and you should be able to do that 100%. Same thing with, you know, engine mapping. Obviously, like in the GTPs, you can go into different fuel modes. If you can change it in the car, you should be able to change it in the car. Period. No matter if it's fixed, if it's open or not. But because you can't, that's why the Core GT is open setup, because they most likely will have some rain races scheduled, not out yet for next season. But you know, in the case if there is rain, whether it's all race, whether it's for a little bit or not, you need to be able to tweak those settings to make the car drivable, other than just feeling like a turd the entire race or having to absolutely tiptoe. But right now, tonight, we've already blasted through the first half of this race. Jimmy, I think it's about time we give everyone out there at Sierra Nation a little love to hear it.
Love to hear it.
Sights and sounds from the CSRL series as we're riding on board there with your M class leader, Cesar Colon Torres. He's going to have a bit of a penalty in the pits. You see, that wasn't exactly a clean entry. Cut the grass there. Got a penalty coming in, so that's going to be most likely a 40-second hold. Luttrell in the pits with him as well, but should be able to get out in front of him. It was a decent-sized lead for Cesar Colon Torres, but he's going to give up a decent amount of time here. And it looks like Steven Luttrell down and out. Cesar Colon Torres still serving a penalty, so that is a hurt piece for the 007. Up front, you're taking a look at the lead here. It is no longer 2 seconds. It is down to 0.7 seconds. Neither of these drivers have come in and made a pit stop just yet. In fact, the top 6 yet to come into the pits here tonight, but Keeling has lost a bit of his lead here. Bourgeois has caught up. It's only 0.6 seconds right now. Bryce Reiner not that far behind as well. He's right there in the mix, only 1.7 seconds behind your leader. So it is certainly tightening up at the front of this field.
Yeah, definitely tightening up, and coming into the pits, the time is gone now. Right on that back bumper is Noah Bourgeois able to get an awesome entry there and get slowed down, follow the leader down into the pits here. It's just, it's always good to see this part of the race, Carl. This is the pit stops is huge. Now it's all about, you see, about stopping the exact same time, but I seen Noah Bourgeois' car go up for tires where Dace did not. So is this going to be the difference? Both down away at the same exact time, so no difference in pit stops, Carl, but Noah Bourgeois on some newer tires.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see how this thing plays out. You see already Bourgeois all over the back bumper again of Keeling. But now you see right there, Bourgeois has got to get those tires warm. He's got to get them warmed up quickly because he doesn't want to lose touch from the 6 here, who is going to dive down to the inside of your third place runner. That's Jason Phillips, I believe. No, that is Jason Phillips in the 55, as he is still running third in the GT3 Pro class. Ricky Renner has jumped over Chris Hamilton for the time being. He's still going to come in and make a pit stop here. So getting through the pit stops, looks like Frank Pisano getting a black flag here as well. Jimmy, even on road, especially on road sometimes, when you got a funky little entry to pit stops, you got to practice it.
Yeah, it's huge. I know a lot of drivers get there and they're so focused on the track, and if it's not a track you come to and they got some kind of quirky entrance like they do here at Motegi, they got one, like Le Mans, and there's a few other tracks where it can really bite you if you're really not ready for it. You don't practice it, especially being able to try to be aggressive and take that time. But
how about this?
Go back with Noah Bourgeois. Going to go ahead and move back to P number 3 as Bryce Reiner was able to get by.
Yeah, exactly. We see Reiner getting on by, and not sure if Reiner took tires or not, but either way, maybe taking a little bit of time for that 24 to warm up those tires. And Jimmy, you know as well as I do, it seems like it takes forever to get these LMP2 tires up the temperature, and I'm sure that's what Noah Bourgeois is dealing with right now. Just got to tiptoe around here a little bit, but once they start getting to that temperature, getting to that pressure, he should be able to push them a little bit harder. But can he now not only pick up the time here and get back into second, can he get up there and battle for the lead? Dace Keeling having to deal with some traffic here as the 53 Renner out of the pits, and more importantly, out of the pits in front of Hamilton. That's Hamilton right there coming through the hairpin. Now he's going to look down to the inside, maybe 3 wide in the corner. Looks like the 87 of Reiner's going to stay out of it, but Hamilton not able to get in. But how about the crossover right here? Now Hamilton into the lead. You see Reiner all over the back bumper of Hamilton, maybe trying to push him there. Like, I know you guys are battling, but get the heck out of my way. And now Renner is going to look to the inside here again as Hamilton's got real busy windshield, mirror, window, everything. It is really busy around the 64 and in the 53 right now, and still locked in a battle here as Hamilton has the lead as they're working around a lap car here. They're being lapped by the LMP2s. Man, you want to talk about multi-class racing? You want a quick little synopsis? Right there it is, and Ricky Renner is going to get taken out. Let's take a look at that here one more time. You've seen it kind of off in the background, but here is the incident as he gets into it with, I believe that is the 85. Yeah, 85 there. Jay Little just maybe thought he was clear, went to cut over to take the preferred line into the corner, cuts himself off, and he's definitely got damage on the front end of that thing. Not sure if it's handling correctly or not.
He's got major nose damage on that car, Carl. So he's going to obviously finally get back out there, but fantastic battle, kind of gone wrong. Misjudgment there by Ricky, not being clear and trying to open up that corner to make sure he kept the momentum going in that corner, and finds himself off in the kitty litter. So a tough break there for Ricky. Now gonna have to nurse that car here and try to hopefully be able to finish this thing out the way he is, because if not, he's not only lost time there, if the car is too damaged, come in and lose even more time. So has some long night for it to finish this thing here. But yeah, tough break there for Ricky Renner, as that battle for the lead was one of the best on the track at the moment. Well,
and in the mix of that battle right there, you see Bryce Reiner having to check up, and it allowed Noah Bourgeois to get back around. So he's back up in the second place, but 2.25 seconds behind the race leader of Dace Keeling at the moment. So he's got some work to do here to finish this thing out, and we'll get you back live now and to show you Bryce Reiner right there, only a half second behind Bourgeois. One of the closest battles here on the track. Another battle back here a little bit further in the pack. Battle for 34th and 35th. John Espada and Steve Santana. Espada out there in the Porsche, Santana in the Mustang. A few Mustangs out there. So like you said, maybe not just that spot. Maybe you got to get a little love here even at Motegi, as Hamilton out there leading the pro class in the Mustang. But the other Mustang's not doing as well. You see Willie Brennan pull over his Mustang mid-race. Not sure what happened to him, but it looks like he is done for the night. But as we get down to the final 6.5 minutes of this race, or 7.5 minutes for those that can math a little better than me, Dace Keeling leads the way by 2 seconds. Noah Bourgeois, Bryce Reiner for your top 3 in the pro class for the LMP2s. Javi Sierra still leading the way in the AM class over Jim Dutton and Paul Smith. And then in the GT3s, it is Chris Hamilton now by 4.3 seconds over Jason Phillips and Michael Schwartz for your top 3 runner back there to 4th. In the AM class, Stephen Luttrell has overtaken and taken the lead thanks to the pit road entry penalty for Cesar Colon Torres, as Ian Sutherland in second, Colon Torres shuffled back to 3rd. But coming down to the end of it here, it's been a pretty eventful race to say the least. It's been a good one. Some off track, some incidents, quite a few pit road penalties. That entry seems about as wide as a bike path, and I don't think some of these drivers took to practicing it too much. They're worried about getting around this track, and pit road is just as important.
Oh yeah, pit road's critical. It's we end up usually talking about it once a race, especially during pit times, and sometimes at the beginning, especially at the oval races that we cover. And it's just I know for a fact, just being a driver, and especially if you're newer, obviously your main focus is the track itself. Making sure you know where the corners are at, how to enter, how to exit. Whether it is an oval or a road, but you just kind of overlooked, like, I can pit, no big deal. I just slow it down and come in. But it's not so much here, Carl. That quirky entrance really can throw drivers off, as we've seen some black flags and mistakes being made here tonight.
Well, speaking of quirky, I think we need to radio up to Frank Pisano, find out where he is in the 4, because we have a battle between the 44 and the 444 of John Nominger and Stephen Luttrell. Luttrell obviously leading the AM class here for the for the GT3s, but of course, every position counts here. So if he's able to beat a couple of the pro drivers, it's going to be more points that he can separate himself from the rest of the pack. But unfortunately, it looks like Nobinger has now got a bit of more of a hold on 27th overall as it stands. But based on the lap times that they're getting around here, roughly about 1 minute and 45 seconds, exactly the shortest track out there here at Motegi. It's probably going to be only a couple more laps left in this race.
Just a few more laps remaining here at Motegi to wrap this thing up. And as we're coming down on time, I got the 7:44 up on the clock here, so just knowing that we got a 45-minute race, it's all but over here for some of these drivers trying to bring this thing home, waiting for that white flag to kind of come on out. And I don't see one. Well, I'm trying to see where Barney's at, but I don't think it's this time by yet.
Yeah, it'll be at least one more time, and they're on the backstretch right now anyway, so they're not at the start finish line just yet. It's the longest straightaway in the track, but it's not the front stretch. But we talk sometimes the full name of tracks, like we've been talking about Spa. It's what it's known as. It's known as Spa, but the full name being Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Here, it's Mobility Resort Motegi. To me, Jimmy, if you tell me Mobility Resort, it sounds like a retirement home or something like that. The mobile scooters or something like that. It sounds like a nice retirement home, a nice one. But yeah, still seems like that's not the case here though tonight. I don't think these drivers are out here going a little bit faster than you would on a scooter. I mean, you never know. I've seen a lot of people soup up a lot of things, so maybe they can soup up a scooter. I don't think they can keep up with the LMP2, but who knows? Right now, battle for second, and Reiner is going to take back second place. Not sure what happened there, if it was just a good exit or if Bourgeois pulled over and let the 87 on by. So Reiner is going to move him back into second place. Dace Keeling, though, has got a 3, almost 4 second lead over the field right now. We'll take a look on board with him this time by as he heads around and down towards the hairpin one more time. And I would think, based on the time, it's going to be close here to getting the white flag this time by. I would think it's either going to be 1 or 2 laps to go as he jumps now on to the backstretch. Have 4 more corners till we get to the start-finish line. In the meantime, we'll take a look quickly back to another battle between Christian Ortiz-Torres and Jesse Mosley. This is the battle for 5th and 6th in that class. And it looks like got some more LMP2s. That's Rob Angus, leader, and the rookies for the LMP2s right now. But we'll hop on board now to, already gone by, and we'll have to switch back a little bit further. So hop on board here with Devin Young. I haven't really talked about him too much in this race. Doing a pretty good job. Started back there in 8th place, up into 5th as it stands, and I'm not seeing a white flag just yet. So 2 laps to go here at Motegi, and we'll have our second race winner of the season. Certainly, Dace Keeling looking to make good from how well he was running at Watkins Glen, and looking to get his first win of the season. And I mean, all things considered, Craig Jancic is battled back to a 6th. I can't imagine this is, this is going to be a happy spot for him. But he only started up there in 4th. He didn't start in the front row. He started back there in 4th place. Lost a couple of spots because of the incident early on with Madrigal. But they do have a drop race in the season. You don't want to feel like you have to use any drop race. But, as well as Jancic runs, maybe this 6th place will end up being a drop race. But if not, it's going to be tough. I mean, it's only 5 positions different than Dace Keeling, but the way Dace ran last season, it was tough for Craig to catch him then. Hopefully he doesn't put himself in a hole like this too often this season, or it's going to be an uphill battle once again. But Dace Keeling, now again on the backstretch, should be getting the white flag this time by.
Yeah, it should be white flag this time by. And I was looking for Barney last time, and either he's hiding or what. I couldn't quite
it's like where's Waldo sometimes
on the track. Yeah, I think he's like hiding but obviously going around the final corner right now and looking for the Barnster, and
on the right hand side.
White flag.
Yep,
there he is. Yeah, there he is hanging out behind the wall. Before the little booth. I was looking for him in that little booth there, but not there. So must be enjoying the fresh air here at the resort.
Still a battle here between Bourgeois and Reiner, and I'm not sure if this thing is done just yet. As again, I couldn't tell if Bourgeois kind of moved over and let Reiner by, or what the case was there, but they're still very close to each other and may not be done and dusted just yet. Keeling should be able to walk away with the win here as long as he doesn't make a mistake on this final lap. Javi Sierra, same thing. I mean, he's been dominant in the 979 here, up inside the top 10, looking like 8th place right now. Biggest mover of the race, technically, is Michael Pennant Jr. up 26 spots, but I'm not sure how that's gonna work out because that's starting behind.
Plus 6.
Yeah, for me it's saying plus 26, so that's why that doesn't seem right for me because he's in a LMP2, so he didn't start technically behind all of the
I have Ian
GT3s.
Southern as plus 8.
Yeah, I have Ian Southern as plus 11 because you got in here a little bit later, so it might not have picked up the other ones that he got. But yeah, Ian Southern, to me, Ian Southern is going to be the hard charger here tonight, up 11 right now. But coming through the end of this lap here, heading into the final couple corners, and the S's, Dace Keeling is going to come away with the victory here tonight. He avenges what maybe could have been at Watkins Glen. Doesn't matter. It is what it is here tonight at Motegi, as a 6 is top of the boards. Dace Keeling gets it done out of the final corners down the front stretch. Reiner will be able to hold off Bourgeois to finish 2nd and 3rd. In the AM class, it is a pretty sizable lead right now for Javi Sierra over Jim Dutton, 14 seconds as it stands. Looking down in the GT3 Pro or AM class, Ian Southern is going to finish in 3rd, as Cesar Clone Torres was able to get around him. But Javi Sierra coming across the line, he's going to win in the LMP2 AM class. Jim Dutton still going through the final corners, and you never want to see a car stop there, go through the final corners, especially when you're looking for a top 3 in your class. Jim Dutton's going to come home in 2nd in class. Paul Smith, through the final corners, is going to come home with a 3rd place, as I believe the Mustang right there, I'm not sure who that is, trying to see who that might be. I think the 343, 343 is Steve Santana. He is out of fuel. That is why he is stopped at the end. And there you go. Look at sometimes a little help from your friends, as it looks like our Brandon Powell pulls up behind him. And well, that's one way to do it. Just lift him up. Maybe he's digging into the grass. Can't get that thing out of gear for whatever reason. But your winner in the GT3s is going to be Chris Hamilton, Jason Phillips, and Michael Schwartz for your top 3. Steve Luttrell, Cesar Colon Torres, and Ian Southern, your top 3 in the GT3 AMs, as we will get them in here for an interview. But in the meantime, Jimmy, it was fun to come back here to Motegi again. It's not a track that we get to see too often, and I think we've seen definitely some good battling. The long straightaways here, I think, lend to some drafting, some passing opportunities. It turns into a pretty fun track.
Yeah, the battles here could be fun. Obviously, a lot of technical corners that you need to set up, and it does get unique when you're in a battle with somebody. We've seen it there with Chris Hamilton and Ricky Renner. Just trying to battle out, and obviously you get them faster cars come up, and they want to get by, and you're racing, so you just gotta continue racing, and hopefully they can find that gap in order to make it around. It's a lot of times you get yourself in these multi-class racing, and as a slower car, it could take you a little while to get a move set up, and then when you're finally there, you got a faster car breathing down your neck, and it's just the faster car needs to be patient. It's not like 2 cars that weren't fighting for a position. So it does get frustrating at times. I know for as a GT3 driver with the faster cars, you're there, you're battling, all of a sudden everything that you worked on the past 2 laps, you find yourself having to wait another lap or another 2 laps, and then you could come into that same situation. So you have to try to take the opportunities when they're given, and then hopefully driver awareness, like who's in front of you. So if you're in 10th place and you're trying to get around the GT3s that are battling, I guess not that you have to wait, but to kind of allow that battle kind of to help just a little bit, just kind of breathe a little bit, and maybe choose a little better spot to pass than diving into a corner when they're already side by side. And going through a corner is usually pretty difficult, more than 2 wide. So, but that's just all. You live it, you kind of like, oh, here it goes again, and you kind of just hold on, hope for the best. But I think overall, Carl, some great racing here tonight at Motegi. Obviously, a different version from last season, just the road course here tonight. So put on some great runs and had some great finishes and battles throughout.
I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. I want to thank our sponsors, Velocity, Aerostar Racing, and 40 Racewear for everything that they do here for the series. Going to get to some interviews here. We got a couple of them in there. Hopefully, the rest of them realize that they're due for some interviews, but looks like at least the pro drivers are ready to go. We'll go ahead and start with your overall winner here tonight. I can just get it back a little bit here. There we go. So your overall winner here tonight is going to go to the 6 of Dace Keeling. Dace, you got the pole here tonight. You were able to get away early on, and a little close at the beginning before you started stretching your way out. But it got a little bit closer once it got to that pitting time, and both Reiner and Bourgeois were able to reel you in, and it got really close going into the pits, and certainly coming back out of the pits as well. And as much of the lap traffic kind of brought you together, it maybe helped you stretch out here a little bit in the end.
Yeah, I took it way too easy going into the pits. I was just being safe, and then coming out of the pits, I think they fueled less than I did, so their stops were actually a bit quicker than mine. But I think in the end it worked out because it seemed like at the end that they were saving some fuel, so I was able to stretch out a little bit more.
So talk to me about this track in particular. I mean, here there's a little bit more straightaways than you see at a lot of the tracks you go to. Certainly, heading down to the hairpin, heading out of the hairpin all the way down the backstretch there, even on the front stretch. There's a lot of places where you can kind of help set up passes a little bit. Not that it makes it 100% easy, but it makes it maybe a little bit easier for you guys.
So what's weird is there's a lot of straights, but the straights just aren't quite long enough. So it actually makes it a little bit awkward because I know Craig has said it on here a few times, but the LMP2 has such garbage low end torque that by the time you really get up to speed and you have a good amount of overlap to the GT3s, it's almost time for the braking zone. So it's kind of uncomfortable sometimes you're trying to pass the GT3s because it's a little bit closer than you'd like.
Well, you guys may be getting a little bit wet next week at Spa. Shocker! It seems like it always rains at Spa, no matter if you're if you're in the 24-hour, if you're in a league race. It seems like it's always raining at Spa. But either way, Spa coming up next week. Maybe a little tune-up for the Spa 24 as well. How are you looking forward to next week?
I am looking forward to Spa. In this car, I'm not too bad in the rain, but I absolutely despise the rain. So, yeah, I'll bring my poncho. Try to stay dry.
There you go.
Some galoshes if you have to get out of the car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
at least
for
it's
sure.
at least it's not like some of the old school prototypes where it's open cockpit. You don't have to deal with that. But either way, congrats on the overall win here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Shout out the wife as usual. Shout out this track. I'm a huge MotoGP fan, so anytime I get to race a MotoGP track, I'm always super excited. Maybe one day we get Phillip Island on here, and I'll absolutely lose my mind when I'm reading that calendar. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Phillip Island myself. To me, it's just a real fun, flowy track. But it's
very sad that they're not going there after this year, right?
It's just that it hardly gets any love. It sucks. But either way, congrats on the win here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week at Spa.
Thanks, guys. You guys have a good one.
You too, buddy.
You too.
That is your winner here tonight, the 6 of Base Keeling. Top spot in the AM class is, where is it? There we go. Is going to go to Javi Sierra in the 979.
Hey, Javi, it's Jimmy Carlton, Booty Copy.
Hey Jimmy, hello guys, how you doing?
Oh, not too bad. Like from what I understand, a little bit of a rough start for you here tonight, getting involved in a little bit of an incident, but had a one heck of a drive here to finish P8 overall, and kind of win that AM G or LMP2 position. So, give us a little rundown of your race, man, and how it went after it didn't start very well.
I mean, after the start was pretty easy going race. Just trying to keep it on track. I didn't have too much practice at this track. This day it was so busy, but yeah. Just like always, just trying to hit my markers and keep it on track.
You talked a little bit about not getting too much time on the track before coming out here tonight, but what was, I guess, for somebody that's just kind of getting out here, not getting much practice, what would be the most challenging portion of this track here as like a new driver?
I think the last chicane, that chicane was killing me in practice. The few laps that I did this afternoon, like when I got from work, and for some reason I couldn't get it right. But yeah, I was just keeping my cool, just trying to hit all the markers on that sector there, and yeah, just trying to bring the vehicle safe to the finish line.
Yeah, you got it. You did just that. You got it across that start finish line safe here tonight, and able to wrangle in a that top spot podium for the LMP2 AM. So we just wanted to say congratulations, man. With little practice or not, you're able to capture that top spot. So I want to say congratulations and give you some time for any shout-outs you might have in that car.
Well, thank you. Shout out to you guys for always, for the broadcast. Always, you guys are doing a great job. Jim and Carl, all the guys that every Wednesday put all this together, and my brother, he's probably gonna watch this later tonight.
Hopefully you'll be able to sit down and rewatch what went on here tonight, and maybe explain yourself if anything shows that maybe you made a mistake. But either way, you made enough mistake or not enough mistakes, and walk away that winner. So again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here in the LMP2 AM class, the 979 of Javi Sierra. Switching gears now over to the GT3 class. Your winner in the Pro class going to go to Chris Hamilton. Chris, you, Ricky, and Jason were locked in a 3-car battle pretty much the entire first part of this race until maybe some lap traffic and some LMP2s kind of mix it up a little bit. But even through that, all the way through the pit stop, it was definitely close battling for the top 3.
Yeah, it was. I just wasn't playing any kind of games, just kind of doing my own thing, letting the race kind of come to me. It is kind of funny how broken the Mustang is right now. I feel kind of bad using it, but I felt like I had to, given how not great the Merc was last week.
Well, that's what kind of surprised me. Talking to you, to Jimmy, and some of the other guys about the Mustang right now, the fact that there was maybe not as many Mustangs out here as I expected. I mean, there were a few out there, and even a few was kind of more than what we normally see. But only 4 Mustangs out there in the field. Did that surprise you?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Mustang Cup or Mustang Challenge, whatever you want to call it. It is pretty interesting how broken the TC isn't in the Mustang. Like last week, I could not get the back end to step out on me, no matter how hard I got on the throttle. But this time, I'm actually able to get the back end to step out, so I can actually get on the throttle. It felt. I didn't do any practice laps. I just kind of sent it. I knew the Mustang was going to be good, and I didn't realize how good it was tonight until I started driving.
And for those that don't understand what that actually means, some people may think about, well, why do you want to get the back end loose? And you're not getting a good drive out of the corner or things like that. What does that mean to feel that confidence to have that back end step out? And how does that help you out?
if it so last week, if it was just understeer, 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 and then I can visibly see the TC intruding on my exits. This time, I did not have that SGO. With the back end stepping out, I know that there's enough power getting to the back wheel, so it's not on me to control it. That's what I was looking for, and I found it with the Mustang tonight.
Well, you certainly found your way to the win here as well. So congrats on the win here at Motegi. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
A huge shout out to Johan Simenario, who painted this lovely Blue Thunder, built Ford Tough Blue Thunder Ford Mustang. It just fits. I love this paint scheme, although the number plate, I feel like I should change it, but that's between him and I. Huge shout out to all the other guys. I feel bad for Ricky. I couldn't. All I saw in my mirror of him spinning, and we were gonna have a good battle. I definitely sent it in there once he had a better pit stop than I did. And then huge shout out to everyone here at CSRL, and thank you guys for the broadcast.
All right, buddy, we appreciate that. Congrats again on the win. We'll see you next week at Spa. See if you can go back to back.
All right, here's to it.
That's your winner here in the GT3 Pro class, Chris Hamilton in the 64. Top spot in the M class is going to go to Stephen Luttrell in the 444.
Hey, Steve, Jimmy and Carl in the booth. You copy?
Hey, how's it going? You guys hear me good?
Pretty good. Yeah, can hear you just fine. Obviously, you got yourself the final top spot there for the GT3 AM. So give us a little rundown of your race. How it was, being able to establish yourself here tonight?
Yeah, finally. I was close last race, but I ended up crashing. The race started. I thought I was playing bumper cars at the beginning, and then ended up spinning out, and I thought my race was done. But I had a good pace, and I don't know what happened to Caesar. He was ahead of me at one point, and then after that he was behind. But yeah, it was a good race.
Pit road tickets.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about that just a little bit as maybe gifted one as Caesar entered the pits a little too hot, and there was stuck a black flag there and gave up a few seconds on the track. So obviously, going into talking about this, how hard was it coming into the pit entry here tonight?
Oh, it was hard. Actually, in practice, I think that's what I did the most, just practice my pit entry. I think I crashed into the wall the first 3 times, got black flag the 4th time, and then the 5th time I finally figured out where to brake and how to do it. But yeah, it's a pretty tight one, and you come in quick. So
yeah, me and Carl usually take a little bit of time to talk about the importance of a pit entry and being able to hit that correctly. And obviously you were able to do that. You talked about practicing a little bit too, so that's always good to hear. Drivers out there trying to get that part done, as it can be a make or break portion of the race. And you kind of seen it there. One of your colleagues maybe still trying to figure it out, and you already had that homework already done here for tonight. And that could have been what it was that kind of obviously put you in that position to come away the winner here for the GT3 AM. So we want to say congratulations, man. And obviously you ran a good race throughout the evening here, and we want to give you some time for any shouts you might have in that car.
sorry, what's that?
We want to give you some time for any shouts you might have in your car.
Yeah, I just want to thank my wife. She's putting my kid to bed now, so allowing me to race without me doing that. So that's great.
It's always to make sure you include the family, as they are always a big part of the drivers behind the steering wheel for a short amount of time for once a week, or how many times they decide the race.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
But we really appreciate the shout out span. And again, congratulations on your victory here tonight. And we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Okay, you guys have a good weekend.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here in the GT3 M class, 444 of Stephen Luttrell. Final one we'll bring in here tonight is going to be the Chris Burrell Hard Charger Sandbagger Award winner here tonight. It's going to go to Ian Southern in the 004. Ian, this was a track that I mentioned. I feel like, maybe not so much with the LMP2s as I thought it would be, but certainly in class with all these straightaways, as long as you get some good exits, you can make some passes. Was that kind of the case here tonight, or was it more just kind of pick up the pieces that everybody else left there on the track?
I have no idea, mate. I didn't make a good corner.
Well, I mean, you finished third in class as well. I mean, it had to be, one way or another, you did well, whether you want to believe it or
I
not.
finished third in class because Caesar wiped me out at the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was seeing it a different way up here on SDK because I'm back a little bit further. But talk to me about the racing out there. I thought with the straightaways here that the LMP2s would have a little bit better advantage and be able to set up passes a little bit easier. How did you find the traffic here tonight?
The traffic was good. Like I didn't have any issues with the LMP.
It was just in class and you're having some issues getting up through there, or me getting taken out there at the end. Well,
Yeah, to be honest though, I've had a bad shoulder for the last few weeks, so I only got on, just started at the back to see how my shoulder went. So it was good. It was fun.
and how you feeling afterwards? You feel like you're ready to go again?
Oh, no,
Hop
it's
you right back in the
He is
Yeah.
sore. It's time for a break.
Well, hey, I'll tell you what. I'll take a week off because you may need it for next week, as it looks like there may be rain in the forecast for Spa. What do you think about that?
Shut your filthy mouth.
Enough said.
Nobody wants rain, and
That's-
nobody likes rain.
I mean, and listen, your fellow countrymen's the one that set up all these sessions, so you can take this up with Jim all you want.
You know what? Oh yeah, we've got we've got the 24-hour next week as well, haven't we?
Yep,
Yes.
yep, coming
Oh,
up as
yeah.
well.
But it was supposed to be raining last season's Spa, and it never came.
Listen, every time you go to Spa, like I
Oh,
mentioned it to somebody else, it seems like there's always a chance of rain. Sometimes it'll dump the entire time. Sometimes it'll just kind of be around the track the whole time. So hopefully, I guess by the sounds of it, you kind of rather just pass on by and not touch the track there at all.
Last season's race, I practiced for about 3 hours in the rain before it, and there was no rain. I'm like, what the, like I just drove for 3 hours, hating the whole time,
Oh,
and it
man.
didn't even happen.
Listen, I can't take Puhan without rain. So any kind of wetness on Puhan, it sucks even more. So
Yeah.
either way, wish you luck next week. Maybe you don't want to start from the back next week, regardless if there's rain or not. But who do you
Oh
want to
no,
give?
I like Spa. I love Spa.
Okay, good. Well, who do you want to give a
Yeah.
shout out to or thanks to this week?
Aerostar and Tyler for putting up with us.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the run here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate. Hopefully, we'll see you dry next week at Spa.
You bet, mate. Have a good one.
That
Bye,
is,
fellas.
Later.
buddy. That is Ian Southern, the 004 here tonight. I mean, there you go. It tells you all you need to know. Some drivers enjoy running in the rain. Jimmy, I know you're one of them. You don't
I
mind the
do.
rain at all. You feel like it's a little bit
No.
more of an equalizer, and there's a lot of drivers that just
Yes.
can't handle it, and you're able to pick off some spots in the rain.
Yeah, it's one of those things, Carl. I do a lot of practice for upcoming events, and I spend a lot of time racing the not racing line. I call it the one that's not the fastest. How to handle somebody in a corner going too wide every single corner. So just kind of going out there, and some of the corners for rain, you have to drive there, and yeah, that's where you need to be fast because that's where the water doesn't lie. That's where your car feels great. You get a lot of grip, and you can just go around. And once you figure those little quirks out, you can really pick people off. And it's just as important, just like we talk about pit entry, knowing where the water pools. Now light rain is a little bit different than heavier rain, obviously, and sometimes you just got to be careful of little things like paint. It could be tricky, like under braking or on acceleration if you're trying to extend a corner a little bit wider. But it's definitely a fun factor, an equalizer. It's the lap times are not as fast, and even if your car is down some power, you can still find yourself in the battle, even if you get banged up a little bit. So I do enjoy it. Sometimes it becomes painful to see through when you're following somebody close, but you work through it and you get used to it. But you just have to either like it or don't, and if not, park in the pits for a little while till the rainstorm passes.
Well, speaking of working, we're not done working here tonight as we're
No.
done here with CSRL. We still got one more, the second half of our doubleheader at Pit Road Speed Limit Racing. So we're going to hop on the plane and head over to Charlotte and get some patriotic paint schemes involved in that one as well. So check that out if you want to see some more racing here tonight. But for myself and Jimmy from the Mobility what was it now? I forget now. Mobility Resort. There it is. What was it? Mobility Resort. The retirement home.
Motegi.
The retirement home, Motegi. We'll see you at the track.
Peace.
to the top. Ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Fly high, or will I fall? Legends made when faith is strong. No time to bleed. I'm conquering. Roll on my love, I'm pushing the pain, I'm up on the prize. Some people wanna turn and run, but the strong rise under the gun. Top to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Every day I fight to be Wings are made to fly, made to fly. Fears are born to die, born to die. Pushing through the pain, through the pain. Pushing through, breaking through, whatever it takes, what I gotta do. Giving my all, giving all that I got. Never will stop till I get to the top. To the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. My heart bleeds adrenaline. The fire I breathe is where I live. Incredible, animal. One life to live. I never give up, I never give in. Some people wanna turn and run, but the strong rise under the gun. Top to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Fly high, or will I fall? Legend to die, born to die. Pushing through the pain, pushing through, breaking through, whatever it takes, what I gotta do. Giving my all, giving all that I got. Never will stop till I get to the top. To the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top.